Yes, thank you, and a very warm welcome to the circuit to Catalunya. This is always a very special moment in the Formula One calendar. The first time all of the cars assemble together on track and run in a properly timed session. And the first car out is the McLaren of Lando Norris. It is. Ted Kravitz is with me. Great to see these cars finally, I suppose, run in something like their real spec.
So here we go, it's the start of F1 2022 and the biggest change to the Formula One cars and the regulations in living memory. So it's a very special time. We've just got a few seconds before we get the season underway. And as you say, it is Lando Norris.
And George Russell, it's the two young Brits, the next generation.
So two young Brits, as you say, the next generation of Formula One driver, keen to get out there. The first thing we should say is that these metal contraptions around the Mercedes and the McLaren are not part of the new regulations. That's just part of some aerodynamic testing they want to do first thing in the morning before the tyres get going.
Just going to direct Simon, the cameraman, to look at the green light, because 3, 2, 1, away we go! And we're up and running for 2022. Wouldn't it be great to see them running 1 and 2 at Grand Prix this year?
This is fantastic to see. You know, Formula One's long winter hibernation has now been shattered by the sound of these 1.6 litre V6 engines in the Barcelona sun. And there is car number 1, Max Verstappen, straight out. They've been very quiet, haven't they, Red Bull? The car that they said they launched wasn't really a car launch. It was more of a sponsor and a livery launch. But now we see car number 1, Red Bull Racing, with the reigning world champion, take to the track. Of course, we don't know whether Max Verstappen is going to do the whole day. I think he is. So it's only going to be later on, when Lewis Hamilton takes over that Mercedes from George Russell, that we'll see the two, compatriots, the two.
You don't want to see, you're trying not to use a more fractious word to describe them,
exactly.
yes.
The two warring people from last year, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, out on track. But here we go. The silence is broken, and we're away.
Are we going to get a major reshuffling of the order, do you think? Could a team like Williams make a leap? That would be great to see. What about Ferrari? Can they get in the title mix this year?
Anything is possible. It's absolutely possible that while we've got this huge regulation change that teams have been designing their cars for a year and a half, somebody who was an early bailout of 2021 to concentrate on 2022 could have got a march. Stolen a march on the likes of Red Bull Racing and Mercedes, who were busy fighting for last year's World Championship. We don't know yet. We're about to find out over the next few days.
Okay, great stuff. Just to talk about the conditions finally, and what we might indeed see on track today as Lando Norris comes back in. Beautifully sunny, but cold. And new aerodynamics, could that mean maybe 1 or 2 moments for drivers as the aero perhaps detaches or doesn't function as they'd hoped?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's every chance that these cars could break down. They're new in more or less every respect, apart from the power unit. They've got new floors, new aerodynamic concepts. They're going to be bouncing their way down the straight as they get this new way of applying downforce in a way that teams haven't had since the ground effect days of the late 80s and the late 70s and the early 80s. And so these cars are going to be smashing themselves to pieces over some of the bumps of Barcelona as they work these ground effect downforce. So yeah, we could see all sorts of things over the next 3 days. There's so little time, Craig, for each driver has only got 3 days before we start racing in Bahrain on March